Hey guys, so let's start with our today's Q&A. Hi, my name is Vivek Yadav and you're watching Pro Coach Learn from Expert. So today's topic is how to learn Flutter. So there are multiple ways to learn Flutter and there are multiple what to say options to learn Flutter, and also there are multiple issues with Flutter. For example, if you are a web developer, then you will have a different issue. If you are a mobile developer, I mean Android, then you will have different issue. If you are an iOS developer, then you will have a different issue. And if you are just a beginner who is trying to step into the coding world, then you will have a different issue. And for every issue, there is a different roadmap to follow. Today, I will show a basic and a common roadmap that if you will follow, then certainly you will become a pro developer in Flutter in less than 3 to 4 months. So let's start. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So hi, let's get started. The very first thing is starter. So if you are just starting up in the Flutter development, then you are a starter or not a beginner. Okay. And if you are a starter, you have to learn the basics of Dart because Flutter is completely made up on the Dart language and there's nothing without Dart in Flutter. So what things you should learn, to get started? There will be variables, classes, functions, loops, and most important, some oops concepts like inheritance. So these things you must learn before you start with Flutter application or development with the Flutter application. So keep it in your mind. Learn Dart programming first. Okay, now you know some basics of Dart and you decided to move with Flutter development. Then you are a mover. Still, you are not a beginner. Okay, and now to become a mover, you should do some code labs that is provided by Google. Don't run behind a tutorial on the Udemy or any platform. Just give yourself some time to learn what the code labs had been provided by the Google and the Flutter team. So what you have to do, you have to do part one, part two, and the last one, the beautiful building beautiful UIs with Flutter. So you have to do these things, okay, before jumping into any other thing. So if you see, there are few things like write your first Flutter app, part one, write your first Flutter app, part two, when building beautiful UI with Flutter. So you have to do these three things if you are a beginner. Okay, you can move to any other thing if you want, but I'll suggest you to just stop here. Okay, now that you followed, if you that you followed these three things, you can move to become a beginner. Okay, and to become a beginner in Flutter application, according to me, you have to play with the counter application that is provided by Flutter team, and it comes by default if you make any application in Flutter. So what things you should try? You should learn how these things have been coded, what comments they are putting, how they are putting comments, where they have written code. For example, the floating action buttons code is written at the bottom, and the app bars code is written at the top of the scaffold. So you should see all those things. Okay. After watching some code, now it's time to play with the code. So how to play? Try adding more functions. For example, decrement. You already get increment in your Flutter application. By default Flutter application, you can add decrement function. Okay. After that, you can add few more variables. For example, we have a counter variable, right? You can add few more variables like sum, difference, square of the current number. Also, you can add some UI component to show those variables on the screen. Okay. After that, you can add one or more screen in the same application and navigate between them using navigator. It will help you to learn how these screens behave when you move from one screen to another screen. And in the end, work with the shared preference. So shared preference is kind of database for the application, for example, maybe mobile application. So play with shared preference little bit, and after this, you are ready to move to the intermediate part. So let's quickly see what intermediates are. For intermediate, you have to learn Flutter application, I mean, life cycle of Flutter application. So I can see a comment by Nikhil. Hi Nikhil, welcome to the live session. Let me know if you have any question in your comments. Okay. So let's continue with our intermediate. So while learning intermediate, you should always start with the life cycle of the Flutter application. So what is life cycle? So life cycle, for example, if you see this mobile, so this screen, if it is off, it is turned off right now. If I click this button, then it will turn on. Then I have to put some password and all those things. So mm, if you see the screen was off, then screen was on. Okay. So in between though both event, there are some life cycles. For example, on the loading of the application, on showing UI on the application, on destroying of the UI of the application. So there are different kind of life cycles that you should take care. After that, create applications with few more screens. For example, you already know to create one or more screen in the beginner steps. Now it's time to create some more, application with more screens so that you can, you can pat your back that you are ready to, work with the multi screens. Okay. After that, create an application with HTTP APIs. Now it is time to try some APIs into your application and start with HTTP. Once you are done with HTTP, you can try DO package if you want. After that, create an application with package. So there are lots of packages you can get from the dart.dev website and integrate that into your application and just play with it. Okay. Then create an application with the plugin. Again, there are lots of plugin on the dart.dev. So you can install it in your application and just play with it. You know, for example, you can play with the audio plugin, or you can play with any small plugin. Don't go for a big, plugin. And also there is a difference between package and plugin. So what is the difference? The difference is if you're looking at a package is completely made of Dart code. There is no other languages code in it. But if you are looking at the plugin, then there are codes of iOS, Android, web, or you can say desktops. Okay, so plugin, you can say plugin is multi-platform code, but package is a Dart code, a pure Dart code. After that, create an application with some pre-packaged animation widget. Okay, now it is time to animate your application. So you can use animation builder, you can use the twin animation, which are directly provided by the Flutter. So just try out some of these. Also, don't forget to try hero widget, and it gives you kind of pure animation while you animate between screens, and you will love that. Okay. After that, create an application with SQLite and Hive database. So now it is time to play with some real database, not shared preference. So SQLite is kind of SQLite for that is provided by Flutter. So you can try to create an application with SQLite. Also, don't forget to try Hive database in your application. Now that if you followed all those things, then you are ready to go for the expert. But please do at least all these things while you are in intermediate stage. Now that you are on the expert panel, it is time to learn state management. So there are lots of state management like block, provider, driver pod, MobX. So choose one of them and try to create an application. Okay. After that, develop and maintain application with more than 10 screen. Here you have to keep your eye on the maintenance of the application. Previously, you have made application with 3 to 4 screens. Now it is time to extend that application with 10 screen and maintain it. When I say maintain, it means you have to maintain that which screen is currently visible, and then try to add some more functionalities in your application and see if your application is can cope up with these new 10 screens. So now, when if you have to become an expert, then you have to do this: develop and maintain application with more than 10 screen. After that, learn application profile. So what is this application profile? Okay, so let me explain something. So for example, you have created an application, and that is, let's say it is a buggy application. Okay, but how will you know that how to solve that bug, or how to make your application more performant, how to increase the speed of your application? So at that time, you have to use profiling tools that is provided by the Flutter team, and that is the application profiling. So you can watch which widget is building, how in how many times, which function is taking more time, which is adding this buggy thing to your application. So you can find out all those things using profiling tools. After that, learn debugging and profiling tools. Well, you know profiling tools, right? But now you have to work with the profiling tools with your debugging tools. Debugging is the most important thing to learn it, for any application development. So, what is debugging? So, debugging is kind of finding a bug, or while developing application. To if you want to know the current state by pausing your application state, then you can use debugging tools. After that, publish application on App Store and Play Store. Now it is time to show your application to the world. So publish your application on the Play Store and the App Store, and learn how you can create builds of your application, and how you can upload that builds to the App Store and Play Store. While doing these things, you will learn lots of policies by Google and Apple companies, which are required to fulfill if you want to publish your application. Okay, now that you have done almost all those things, it is time to learn something about the web app of Flutter application. So what you can do, you can try to create, I would say, try to convert your existing application into a website using Flutter. After that, publish articles publish articles publish articles. Because you are an expert, this is time to showcase your expertise with the people, with the world. So create an articles, write an articles on the medium.com, or you can have your own website. Just go whenever, whatever, wherever you want. You can use dev also, dev.to, and create and publish articles and share it with your friends on the Twitter, or tag me, and I will retweet it. So in this way, you become an expert in the Flutter. Okay, wait, there's one more thing. Pro. So if you want to become a pro in Flutter, then you have to help community, help people, and spread love about the Flutter application. So how you can help community? You can create publish articles. You can create videos, or you can actually create and upload videos on the create code with Pro Coach YouTube channel. Just contact me and send me your video. I will upload it on my YouTube channel. Help people. So now it is time to go to on the Stack Overflow for helping, not asking question. Go to reddit.com and try to help there. And if see if you have any WhatsApp or Telegram group, and if someone is asking question, then answer them, help them. You can join Flutter India Slack channel and Mumbai Flutter's Telegram channel to help people. Also, spread love, don't hate. Spread hate. Okay. One more thing. And now that you know all those things, how you can become pro Flutter developer, according to me, you can also follow a roadmap that is given by Alexander. Okay. That is very good, and I like this thing. And you can also go with these things. Okay. So it is kind of UI representation of all the roadmap you can follow to learn Flutter. So there are lots of things like basic widgets, design patterns, and databases architecture, and all those things. So this is also one thing. So you can compare my way and Alexander's way, and find out which one is for you. And if you think that mine was for you, then you can, just create a roadmap with that, or you can use Alexander's also. And that is it. Thank you. This was Vivek Yadav, and you can find me at Vivek259, at Vivek259, at Vivek259 on every other platforms. Thank you. So I'm taking off, and this was your pro coach, Lil from Expert. We will meet in next Q&A. Till then, bye bye. Take care.